We're being siloed into a bubble. Our likes empower the algorithm. It feeds us what we want, to keep us engaged. It wants to sell our attention. We slip deeper into a constraining narrative. But we must break free. We must burst the bubble. Truths will be learned. Cognitive dissonance will make our hearts and heads ache. Different perspectives will bring us wisdom. Some truths will be hilarious, others painful. But we must be free. We must break into the DisAlgorithm.
All right. Welcome. This is the new home for the DisAlgorithm, so I hope you subscribe or just check out my videos. Give them a like if you will. It helps a lot, and we're going to get into it. We're going to explore the news, and we're going to pop into the DisAlgorithm and check out a different perspective. When Fox News called Arizona for Biden with only 74%, that's when I know they were in on the real big lie. The Murdochs are all foreign-born globalists who hate America First movement. The exact moment when Fox News died. Yep. I haven't watched Fox News since. I stopped watching Newsmax too. You know, they both have good shows on them, but they're politically aligned with the globalists, so they're just pushing a Republican side of the globalist agenda. So I'm not really interested in it. Our position at the war room is clear. Iran must never get a nuclear weapon, and Israel is fully capable of finishing what they started.
Deal or economic warfare.
Oh,
It's pretty
I got
clear
my sound messed up. 1 second. Let's see here.
Just the nuclear program, but you know, our position here at the War Room has been pretty straightforward. We absolutely believe that the Ayatollah and those guys can't get a nuclear weapon. The way to do that is President Trump's negotiations, a deal, or economic warfare. It's pretty clear that this urgency, this rush, and now kind of flipping to say it's got to be regime change. It's on every paper. We called this Friday morning when the assault happened. We said it looks like a decapitation, not just of the nuclear program, but of much of their general staff in a regime change or regime destruction. We still stand by that. And our line is quite simply, Netanyahu, just finish what you started. Fox News right there reiterates, and they know because they're the propaganda arm of this, they know they have the ability to do it. Finish what you started. You know, our position here at the War Room has been pretty straightforward.
Right.
We absolutely believe that the Ayatollah and those guys can't get a nuclear weapon.
Pop this up a little bit. All right, Ted Cruz. He just had that interview with. What's his name? Oh my God, I'm late right now. Tucker Carlson. Returning to the subject of Cruz's faith, the Texas senator said that his support for Israel was also rooted in his Christian faith, citing the biblical phrase, "Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed." Carson mocked that fact that Cruz's faith informed his pro-Israel views and asked specifically the biblical citation. After Cruz acknowledged he didn't know the exact verse, the podcast host then incorrectly answered his own question, mistakenly saying it was in Genesis. The verse is from Numbers 24:9. All right.
Lee goes homeward.
Oh,
Ice doesn't play.
This might get me copyrighted, so I'm not gonna play that. You can check it out though. I'm sure it's funny. Still a meeting. Border Patrol finds 3,000-foot drug smuggling tunnel between Tijuana, Mexico, and San Diego. Yep, I always finding that. On the web, alright, let's see. The greatest enemy of the United States is the Democratic Party. Well, the people in it right now are their leaders. But we should always have as many parties as we can. Let's see. Lindsey Graham on the United States military. If you ask them who would be willing to risk your life to stop the Ayatollah from having a nuclear weapon, all of them would say yes. Would you be willing? Not who. Lindsey Graham. Okay. Graham is arguing for boots on the ground in Iran. Great. Why don't you go,
would say
Lindsey?
yes because it makes them.
Can you guarantee that? Can President Trump in
Why
any
don't
form,
you go,
can you
you
make the
hasty
commitment
homo?
that this would not lead to a longer war?
I can guarantee you that if the Ayatollah gets a nuclear weapon, he will use it. I believe that with all my heart and soul. So the men and women who serve, they're the ones going, not people answering a poll. And if you ask them, would you be willing to risk your life to stop the Ayatollah from having a nuclear weapon? All of them would say yes, because it makes their country, our country, safer. So we live in a world where you've got to confront problems. You want to avoid World War III? Learn the lessons from World War II. People in World War II appeased Hitler to the point that it got so much out of hand, we had a world war and 60 million people got killed. So we live in a world where you pay now or you pay later. Let's stop this threat before.
Oh, we're appeasing Hitler by not going to war with Iran. Shut the hell up, idiot. The Autopan never crapped its pants that we know. Alright, that's probably gonna get me copyrighted too. I'm gonna save these because I want to come back and look at them. Oh, not that one. It's this one. Okay. Yeah, just can't have them in my video or get a copyright, and I have to cut it out. This is the scum who led the coup against the against President Trump. Alright, let's see. It's General Flynn and Benny showed. Okay. Alright. He put 8647. He got put in jail. He's out now. Okay. I don't care. At least he got in trouble. Alright, here's another one. Dang. They're doing all kinds.
Not our allies, sure. And I think, and I am apparently a paid-for subversive Canadian spy. The countries that yell death to America and death to Israel are definitely not our allies.
We have to like Canada. We have
not our allies. Sure. And I think, and I actually think there are many extremely subversive Canadians in our media system. I think we should get rid of many Canadian media figures in our country.
When you say, what do you mean?
Deport them. I'm being dead serious right now. Actually, I think there are many subversive Canadians who are involved in our media ecosystem who don't speak for making America great again.
Like who? Jordan Peterson?
There's many of them. Jordan Peterson, Steven Crowder, Lauren Chen for a while. Okay, what didn't he grow? Okay,
No.
Misquote him.
He grew out of it.
He grew out of being
I think there's some Sarah girl. There's a lot of Canadians involved.
Sarah, Lauren, Southern.
Son of a bitch. Of all the people,
Does he watch this?
all the people to catch on to me, I didn't think would be Eliahu, however it's pronounced. But I guess we're gonna have to scrap that new show open we were planning to use. Did they take the Timothy Dalton Bond intro? Was that Dalton the worst of the Bonds? For crying out
They made
loud.
it better.
Do you know, Noodles, was that a Dalton or was that Roger Moore?
I honestly don't know, but
I was waiting for the gun to go bang and a flag come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Maple syrup to flood the screen. Yeah.
Yes, and by the way, if I were to be deported, I'd be deported to Detroit, which honestly is worse. So, I will say this: I don't disagree with the sentiment. Obviously, I disagree with the fact that he's done zero due diligence whatsoever. But I will say I have renounced my Canadian citizenship on air. Can someone let me know what the process is? You're automatically given it since my mom is Canadian, even though I was born in the States. Is there a process I need to? Maybe we could like burn my Canadian
I think you have to
passport.
burn a flag as well.
No, you burn it.
A lot says some dumb stuff. It's alright. I'd say a lot of dumb stuff too. Failure equals win. Most people never even try because they're afraid to fail. But listen up, you are going to fail and that's okay. If you're open and honest with yourself, every failure becomes a lesson and those lessons will lead you to success. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who's crying even more than Iran Supreme Leader Khamenei? Obama. Here's why.
Experiment. This came up yesterday. I agree that the United States should not be getting involved in a big war. We certainly shouldn't be getting involved in an occupation. But let's propose a thought experiment. This came up yesterday when I did my locals Q&A, and somebody said very clearly, like, what price are we willing to pay? And I said, look, let's think it out. Let's say that Israel says to the United States that we will take care of Iran. We will use weaponry. You've sold us to do it, but that's fine. We will do the job.
Lucky.
We will fight. You don't have to fight. We're not asking some, guy to get off his couch in Peoria and come fight for the IDF. We don't need those people. We haven't asked for them. And we will do it. Now, there might be a couple of these nuclear facilities that require American bunker-busting bombs. So let's just say that we want to borrow 5 of your B-52s to drop those bunker-busting bombs on Iran overnight. In other words, we want to borrow your planes for 24 hours to do that. We'll take care of it. We'll get it done. And you'll get your planes back. They're on loan. We're not trying to take them. You don't have to give them to us. We just need them to help us complete the task. And the effect of this is going to be the collapse of the nuclear program, potentially the fleeing of the mullahs, potentially the recovery of the whole society by the Iranian people. And then, of course, you get the inevitable, but then what happens next, Dinesh? How are you going to ensure? And the answer is we're not going to ensure anything. What we are going to say is that what comes after will be decided not by us, but by the Iranian people. We don't need to get involved. It's their country. They can figure it out. We can be pretty sure that what's going to come after is going to be better than what's there now, right? We're not going to have jihadi mullahs who are shouting debt to America and trying to build nuclear weapons to give them the means to do it. How is it not good for us to have that kind of a result? It is. It is good for us to have that kind of a result. And the post-jihadi society is something that the Iranians can figure out for themselves. As I say, it's certainly better than what we have now. Now, the one guy who I think is crying silently over all this is none other than, you guessed it, Barack Obama. His name doesn't come up. I saw today an article in the New York Times that Obama is behind the scenes very upset and trying to convince Democrats to be more outspoken, institutions like Harvard to fight harder against Trump. And I can see why Obama is so discombobulated. Why? Because Trump is the anti-Obama. Think of it. Obama basically had his remaking that was going from 2008 to 2012. He wanted it to be continued by Hillary. Who ruined it? Trump. And then the Democrats kind of clawed it back with Biden, and maybe Obama was whispering in Biden's ear for 4 years. And who stopped all that? Trump again. So Trump is foiling Obama on the home front. But the point I want to highlight now, even bigger than that, is that Netanyahu has been foiling Obama on the international stage. Why? Because drawing on the dreams of his lunatic father, Obama's dream was to give Iran a nuclear weapon. Now, this may seem a little shocking, but it shouldn't be shocking for anyone who's watched my film, 2016 Obama's America. It's all laid out. Obama's goal was to weaken the United States, to empower our enemies. It's all part, as I say, of this crackpot anti-colonial ideology that he got from his deranged dad. And in some ways, the ghost of his father has been ruling this country indirectly through the son. The spirit of the father lives through the son, you may say, in a kind of unholy transmission. And now it looks finally like both on the domestic stage through Trump and on the international stage through Netanyahu, that malevolent ghost is happily being exorcised. I agree.
I don't know. Apart from Joe Rogan, which other podcaster or show host do you think people should be watching? Darby Cass? No, I don't know. What Israel has done in Gaza should be all the evidence that anyone needs. Yeah, that's crazy. Just signed the executive order extending the deadline for TikTok closing for 90 days. September 17th, 2025. 2025. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Breaking. President Trump extends the closing deadline for TikTok for another 90 days. Huh. Are you guys on TikTok? I used it for a little bit, but I got sick of it. There's some good ones on there, though. A lot of funny stuff. I'd rather just watch those other places. Alright, the Constitution says states can make gold and silver tender, legal tender. Now, Arkansas, Florida, Texas, and more have passed laws to do just that. Gold-backed debit cards are here, and the movement is just getting started. That's probably a good idea. 84 illegals were arrested for deportation by ICE on Tuesday at Delta Downs Racetrack Casino in Louisiana. Along with the criminal investigation, agents are also assessing whether the civil penalties are appropriate for the businesses that hired the alleged unauthorized workers. On 4 of them.
No, he scooted over.
Yeah, the people hiring them need to get fined or something. Something needs to happen to punish them. Because this needs to stop. They need to quit paying low wages to these slaves that are coming over the border. Send them back home. You need to pay a fair wage to American workers. If you can't afford that, you don't deserve to be a business. Shut your doors. It's called capitalism. You don't like it, go to Mexico. Sick of these companies taking advantage of Americans by employing illegal aliens. No one is above the law. No one. So let's see. There's 3 blocks from my office, but I've never heard a peep from him as a medical establishment has tried to crush me. Judging from his campaign contributions, looks like his loyalties rest abroad. Alright. Who's funding him? America, Israeli Public Affairs. That's the highest one, too. Republican Jewish Coalition. Herzog Contracting.
To bring farm workers in. Second of all, there's a right way and wrong way to hire workers. There are legal programs to bring farm workers in. Second of all, I've been saying for years, Congress needs to address this. But because Congress failed to address it doesn't mean we ignore it. I mean, it's illegal to knowingly hire an illegal alien. But like I just talked about a few minutes ago,
they need to do something. They need to punish these guys that are hiring them.
We're going to base them on priority, right? For those, we have a criminal nexus of trafficking, of forced labor, of tax fraud or tax evasion. I mean, we will concentrate on work sites on a prioritized basis, just like we do at large operations. So anything, let's just go farm, look for illegal aliens. We'll prioritize those who have a criminal nexus first.
And just one quick follow-up. On Thursday, ICE told agents to hold off on investigations of farms and hotels, absent some other sort of criminality. Was this ICE acting on their own, and what is the
ICE was not acting. Look, ICE is enforcing laws enacted by Congress. Worksite enforcement operations is an important part of the work we do. Again, where do we find most victims of trafficking? Worksite. Joe Biden stopped worksite. They said they cared about sex trafficking and forced labor trafficking. Then they stopped worksite enforcement. That was a dumb move.
So what was that email from Tatum Kate?
It's a matter of messaging, proper messaging. The message is clear enough that we're going to continue doing worksite enforcement operations, even on farms and hotels, but based on a prioritized basis. Criminals come first. Well, there's a right way and wrong way to hire workers.
So Judicial Watch has to go to federal court this morning to fight with AG Pam Bondi, DOJ, and FBI Director Cash FBI for basic info about Biden's FBI schemes to use Twitter to spy on and censor Americans. Judicial Watch Senior Attorney Michael Bekesha will be standing up for us today. Nobody gets arrested. Nobody goes to jail. Prove me wrong, please.
Sick of being treated like a second-class citizen. I'm sick of Donald Trump. I'm sick of his policies. I'm sick of being treated like a second-class citizen in the United States of America because I am a minority and a woman. I'm sick of not having health care. I'm sick of not earning a livable wage. I'm sick of everything this country represents right now. And most of all, I'm sick that we did not get to have Kamala Harris as our president. I'm sick of Donald Trump. I'm sick of his policies. I'm sick of being treated like a second-class citizen in the United States of America because I am a minority and a woman.
We're here at nDreams headquarters. We've been focusing on core AAA VR titles built for VR from the ground up. The whole studio is built from a people, talent, technology point of view to really hit hard in those areas.
What are they working on?
we've seen Tomb Raider, we play Uncharted, but it's a translation of those experiences into a first-person VR immersive world. You start agile, after progression, you tool up, and at the end you become superhero.
Oh, this is that Reach. Yeah, Reach. That looks good. I'll be playing that on my other channel probably. So subscribe to Virtual Game Community. I'll be over there playing games. I don't play just VR games, but I love VR a lot. So I play all the latest games. Well, usually just like single player games for the most part. I don't do a lot of multiplayer unless it's a VR game. The employer thought someone who claimed Jews nailed him to a cross should be his important hire. I'm good, thanks. Christians should have job. Your employer thought someone who claimed Jews nailed him to a cross should be his important hire. I'm good, thanks. Okay. It's fine to talk about one, but not the other, right? No. I'll just talk about everyone. How about that? How about that? What's Alex doing? Something dumb.
I mean, think about that. Bombs that they're asking us right now for a bunker buster bomb that Boeing designs that costs $500 million per bomb. I was just reading this article about it. Boeing's only made 15 of these bombs. I mean, think about that. So it's like $8 billion in bombs. That's just what the bombs cost. Then you got to blow them up. You got to drop them in a plane. I'm saying there's even more costs associated with that. But that's what the bomb costs. $500 million to blow a bunch of crap up. That's retarded. Why are we wasting that money to blow stuff up when there's people struggling? There's families that can't make ends meet. You can't afford to have basic needs. And you have politicians like Ted Cruz that go and autograph these bombs like it's a damn Heisman football trophy or something. Like they won a fucking football game. And these bombs are killing people. This is not a game.
Wall Street Journal has no idea what my thoughts are concerning Iran. I think the problem is that U.S. doesn't have an orbital cannon that can vaporize an entire nation, which we would use to destroy a country whose politicians stole military schemes after we dissolved the global Senate. If we had that, there would be peace. Yep. We'll call it a Death Star. AIPAC job is to fill the gaps that blackmail couldn't. Probably. Alright, let's go into the DisAlgorithm. Alright, we're going to pop that bubble. We're going to head over to the DisAlgorithm. We're going to see what the other side is doing. What they're saying about everything. Alright. January 6th, of course. Yeah. Wars Trump's fault. Okay. ICE is kidnapping people. Alright. I see. Let's see.
I'm not looking long-term, short-term. I think what she might be alluding to is the base is going to stay with you regardless. And you've gone through different tests, regardless. But
no,
some of
not regardless.
Don't want a long-term war. They're afraid that we're going to get into a long-term war.
What you looking for a long-term war? We're looking. I only want one thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Right. That's it. I'm not looking long-term, short-term. And I've been saying that for 20 years. I've been saying it.
The people around you want a long-term war, though.
Very simply, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's it.
It's not a question of anything else.
All right, let's
If you did,
see.
you wouldn't have much.
Trump. There was a poll that just came out today. My approval rating is the highest it's ever been. I don't know. Don't matter. Dementia alert. Trump is demented. Biden is the most cognitively aware person in the world. Yes.
Up there, I don't know. See, the declaration, especially with war, things change with war. It can go from one extreme to the other. War is very bad. There was no reason for this to be a war. There was no reason for Russia, Ukraine. A lot of wars there was no reason for. You know? You look right up there, I don't know. See the Declaration of Independence, and I say, I wonder if the Civil War. It always seemed to me maybe that could have been solved without losing 600,000 plus people. So a lot of, it's very sad to see. It's very sad to see what's happening, especially with war. Things change with war.
Okay.
It can go from one extreme to the other. Wars.
Talking about Declaration of Independence. Trump thinks the Declaration of Independence was written around the same time as the Civil War. Well, more people need to see. He should be in an assisted living facility. Come on, guys. He's demented. No man should ever shake another man's hand without standing. I agree with that, but President Trump can do what he wants. Are they offended? Do you think these guys are offended? Right on. Charlie Kirk thinks little girls just want to go to college and find a husband. This clip is so creepy. Let's see if it's creepy.
Journalism, and what would your advice be?
Yes.
Hi, Charlie. I'm Addie, and I'm 14. I'm a freshman in high school, and I was wondering, as someone who has a different opinion on college, what would you say the pros and cons are? Because I'm interested in political journalism, and what would your advice be?
Yes, so let me also speak to some of the young ladies here in high school where your top, who's here where your top priority is get married and have kids? Raise your hand. Okay. Interestingly, I think there is an argument to bring back the MRS degree. And no, seriously. And just be clear, that's why you're going to college, right? Don't lie to yourself, I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here. And that's okay, actually. And that's a really good reason to go to college, actually, especially an SEC school. Like, you will find a husband if you have the intent to find a husband at Ole Miss. Like, it's just going to happen, okay? Or wherever. Yeah, there you go, see? Or at University of Alabama. But there you go. But I always laugh because, and by the way, we should bring back the celebration of the MRS degree.
So this is creepy.
No, seriously. I mean,
but
if you
the
think
drag
about
queen
it,
story time.
I say college is a scam, but if you're going to find your life partner, that's actually a really good
pure
reason
and
to
innocent,
go to college.
right?
You have
This
a
is
bunch
creepy,
of people that are single,
I gotta do it. I gotta do it, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta do the dumb troll sometimes. And we saw that already. This is like it though. Who was that? Gavin Newsom, yeah. What did he say about it? Sucking up to the president should not be a requirement for him to do the right thing for American people. These are families who lost their homes, their belongings, the irreplaceable pieces of life built over decades reduced to ash. Only a truly disturbed person would threaten to withhold aid from victims because they don't like someone.
It's harder for that person to get money.
With the rail funding,
in California. Will your recent dust-ups with Governor Newsom impact additional wildfire relief out there? They've requested $40 billion.
The man's incompetent. He shouldn't have forests like that. You clean the floor of your forest and you won't have any forest fires. You know, Austria has very, very flammable trees. They don't have forest fires because they clean the floors. They maintain their forest. It could affect, you know, hatred is never a good thing in politics.
I've got a really tiny
When you don't like somebody, don't respect somebody,
praying
it's hard for that
mantis
person to get
in
money
here
on
today.
but he's done a bad
Trying to
job.
put holes in it.
I'll tell you one thing, if I didn't bring in the military
I'm gonna get him
to
some,
Los Angeles, you wouldn't even have you probably wouldn't be here. You'd be covering
get him
the
some fruit
riots in Los
flies
Angeles right now.
a little later to eat. United States citizen arrested by Border Patrol in Puerto Rico, California. Pico Rivera, Puerto Rico, California.
Hey, I got the shot on the wheel. Don't worry about it. Fuck, still do what the fuck. Hey, yo, what the fuck? Look. Put him in the car. Put him in the car. Hey, these are legal citizens, you fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you.
Huh? Well, don't be fighting with the cops.
Hey, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Look. Hey, I got the shot on the wheel. Don't worry about it. Fuck, still do what the fuck. What kind of shit? They're putting hands on him, dude, and you putting... That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Why you...
Oh no. He should just be allowed to do whatever he wants to them, right? Alright, what is this?
No.
What was that? I think Trump left the G7 early because he was totally humiliated, confusing EU with the UK, and being treated like a kid who smells like piss because he does.
No.
Right after he left, he started having a war tantrum. He has unhinged to you. Come on, man. So dumb. Any reports yet on what caused Kristi Noem's allergic reaction? Let's see. That doesn't say. He's not afraid. Brad Lander, an elected Democrat in New York City, just got arrested and manhandled by masked ICE agents who refused to provide a judicial warrant for the arrest. What happened to Senator Padilla last week wasn't just a one-off. It's the new normal. This is insane. Alright, let's check this out.
Judicial warrant. Do you have a judicial warrant? Do you have a judicial warrant?
They don't need a damn warrant to do their job.
Can I see the warrant? I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it? Where is the warrant? I have it in my hand here. You're obstructing. You're obstructing. I would like to see the warrant.
They don't need to talk to a judge every time they want to deport someone. Man, these guys just get in the way all the time. They should arrest him. I hope they did. Did they arrest him? I hope they did. So nothing on here about the hearing on Biden's cognitive abilities. I'm not seeing it anyways. Let's see. Biden. Whoop. hearing on Biden. Let's see what's on here. A hearing digging into the cognitive abilities of Joe Biden held by the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Wednesday didn't uncover any new information on the former president. So that's what they're saying about it. There is a Senate committee hearing this morning on Biden cover-up, chaired by Eric Schmidt. The Democrats decided to boycott it. All right. Senate committee hearing on Biden cover-up. Let's see. Hearing on Biden cover-up. Can't really make. Oh no, let's see. Can't really make this stuff up. A Senate hearing on Biden's cover-up and who was really running the White House, and all the Democrats boycott. Unreal. Admission of guilt and no accountability. So none of them are saying anything about it except the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing today on Biden cover-up started off running a video I edited back in December. Gotta love the Wii music I used. Alright, so what does that tell you? They're not saying anything about this. They all boycotted it and they're not saying anything about it. Alright, President Trump delays U.S. TikTok ban. Let's go up here. I'm just following orders. I'm just following orders. I'm just following orders. Yes, they're all the same. We are definitely just killing them, you know? We're not just deporting them back to their home. We're killing them. Yep, they did. Look, they all did. They're dead. He's just like Mussolini, you guys. Come on now. He's Hitler and Mussolini. Yeah. So dumb. Alright. We went into the DisAlgorithm. We learned jack crap. Because they're all retarded. So, I don't know. Come on, you guys. You gotta have something in here. There's gotta be something I can use in here to freaking learn something. There's a reason the first time I shook Netanyahu's hand, I did not wash it until I could touch the heads of my children. This guy is insane. Alright, we learned something. We learned Randy Find is a freaking nutcase. Jeez. Are you reading this, you guys? There's a reason the first time I shook Netanyahu's hand, I did not wash it until I could touch the heads of my children. Why? Why? Okay. That guy needs to be put away. He's insane. Alright, let's go to Instagram. Is there anything on here? Democrats confused on what exactly children are for you can't mutilate or kill them. What are they for if you can't mutilate or kill them? Yeah. Alright, so we're done with DisAlgorithm. We're just checking out some funny stuff. Mark Ruffalo, most of the crimes committed in the country are by white people. It's because we're mostly white country, right? I mean, someone please explain statistics to him and about per capita. Stellar Blade, I'm gonna play more of that. I need to finish it again.
And this Pelletier stuff is going to cost Trump a lot of his base. Maybe he doesn't care because he got in and now he's got 4 years and he's paying off his slave masters. That's fine, but I do think people are waking up to it, and I do believe that the conscious whole energy of humanity is a lot stronger than this small group of lizard people.
He could definitely lose his base because he's married into an agenda he doesn't really understand. Right? His grandchildren have a right to return. He's made certain positions known and catered to Bibi Netanyahu for a long time. The technocracy of Palantir and the apartheid of the Palestinians they're tied together, man. They test new technology on the Palestinians because they're prisoners. It's a prison. It's a panopticon. They're under total surveillance all the time. They have cutting-edge sensors, all this stuff.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy.
Well, they're destroying themselves. They are literally destroying themselves as a party. This No Kings thing, it was so dumb to counter-program it against the celebration of the American military, which is one of the most respected institutions in the country, if not the most respected. It was just dumb. And you just had a bunch of old white people out there, and I can say that as an old white person, that what are you protesting against? What is this king you're talking about? You're the party that anointed Kamala Harris. You're the party that rigged the primaries so Bernie Sanders couldn't win. You're the party that screwed to get RFK and Trump off the ballot. They have no argument. And maybe this was just to see if they could turn people out, because it was organized by the left and it was funded by the left. Maybe this was just sort of a dry run to see if they could get people out for the midterms. But watching the left implode and take the wrong side of these famous 80-20 issues, it's glorious. Watching the left destroy themselves is...
One is too many. One death.
Democrats will defend this and say, well, you know, it's such a small percentage. They have blood on their hands, pure and simple. One is too many.
True. It is too many. Violence should never be accepted. It should never be tolerated.
That's silly.
But that's for their issue. In the wake of Sandy Hook and Uvalde and Parkland and El Paso and Lewiston and Aurora and Buffalo and Boulder and Binghamton and Highland Park and Monterey Park and San Bernardino and San Jose and San Francisco.
Oh, don't worry, I got something for him.
And the Pulse nightclub and the Colorado Springs nightclub and the Little Rock nightclub and the Borderline Bar in Thousand Oaks and the Ned Peppers Bar in Dayton and the Waffle House in Nashville and Virginia Tech and UVA and MSU and UCSB and FSU and NIU and SNC and the Sutherland Springs Church and the Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston and the Living Church of God and the Tree of Life Synagogue and the Allen Mall and the Westroads Mall and Fort Hood and Lockheed Martin. And what are we doing?
You want to do lists? Let's do lists. How about a list of Americans killed by illegal aliens who had no business being here, often in brutal fashion? You want to go with lists? Caitlin Steinle, Laken Riley, Ivory Smith, Maverick Martin, Alex Wise Jr., 10 years old, Talia Crochet, 18 years old,
Ryan Uncali, 18 years old. Katie Abraham, 20 years old. Sarah Root, 21 years old. Grayson Davis, 29 years old. Rachel Morin, 37 years old. Officer David Lee, 44. Melissa Powell, 47. And her 16-year-old son, Riordan. Robert Bowles, 70 years old. Here's the common denominator on that list. They were killed by people who had no business being here and could have been stopped in the first place. And that is the actual role of government. Not to tell you that you don't have the right to your God-given self-preservation. You want to do lists? Let's do lists.
One is too many. One death.
There you go.
The View should lose their rights to be on TV immediately.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black. Not if you're black.
Guys, don't go to Iran.
Every day, we are worried. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are our kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood? When you think about the fact that we got the vote in 1965.
Let's go to Iran real quick, just in case you didn't know. There's no real democracy ruled by a supreme leader, Islamic law. You can forget about free speech. You criticize the government, you can go to jail, they can kill you. If you're homosexual, it's illegal in Iran and it's punishable by death. Women are oppressed. They're forced to wear the hijab and they're beaten for disobedience. Protesters are jailed, tortured, and executed. Internet censorship. There's no access to free media. How is that close to anything that happens in America? How is America bad for black people? I don't understand. Do some black people experience discrimination? Yes. But by and large, black people have the rights and ability to do anything that a white person can do. The problem is black people are not applying themselves. Black people who are millionaires are stupid like this. It's just like they act like black people weren't involved in society. Like we were under the white man thumb until like the 60s. That's the most asinine thing that I've ever heard in my life. We created universities. We had theaters, bus lines, schools. I mean, inventions. Black people were millionaires in the 1800s. Black people were very prominent. We talk about Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver. Yeah, there was negative things that happened to black people in America. Yes, some black people in the South had to go through Jim Crow. It wasn't that black people didn't have opportunities in America. Some things were not fair, but it wasn't that black people didn't have anything. What are we talking about?
How many hot dogs do you eat in a day, Tim?
Joe, the first time we did your podcast, when you showed us all of your cool toys in your LA studio.
Oh, yeah. Which toys?
Me, Dave, and Lewis all came in, and you took us first, and you go, check this out. Here's where I freeze myself. Here's where I thaw myself out. You went over, you go, here's the pool table. You broke a rack and sunk a few, and you grabbed compound bow, and you had the laser sight, and you could shoot it all the way across the full UFC gym you had.
And it looked so cool. We were all like just warming our hands up, like, we can't wait till we can do this.
Then you put the bow down, as I was reaching for it, I thought, and then you go, let's go podcast, boys. So I was like, he just showed us all of his toys and was like, don't touch them,
The
please.
problem with those toys is I can't teach you that quickly to use it.
Me and Lewis were like, why doesn't Joe embrace us the way he embraces Dave? And then someone brought up the first picture we ever took here. I am standing behind the werewolf like I'm it. Lewis
getting sucked off.
Lewis is acting like he's getting sucked off by the bear, and Dave is just leaning in, touching it, going. I'm like, oh, you know what?
Dave had respect for you and your belongings.
Dave has his hand on the head gently. That's hilarious.
Okay, Squirt. So it came to our attention during the break that one of the guys we have coming in here may have slept with our very own, the stunning Miss October, Reagan.
One of you two slept with her?
That's what our producer is telling us.
Oh, my God. Which one was it? Foghorn, Leghorn, or Bugs?
Me. Bugs. Will.
Okay, well, lucky man. Lucky man.
Very lucky.
How about you, big guy? You ever drag any ladies up to your bell tower?
What?
What?
I've never been on the radio. I'm Shane.
Oh, good. I was starting to think he was one of the nonverbal ones.
He knows his name.
Hey, Shane gets a lot of ladies up in his bell tower.
Sure. Okay, fine. Tell me again, where is it you guys work?
Valley Forge Automotive. Train by day, Valley Forge Automotive by night, all day.
The Squirt strikes again!
You're in the doghouse now, baby.
The doghouse?
Dog pound.
You work at an auto repair chain and somehow managed to bone a bikini model?
This is not adding up.
Will had sex with her and then he cried afterwards. I didn't cry. I didn't cry afterwards. Oh, he cried during.
Oh, wah, wah.
Listen. Okay, Squirt. So it came to our...
The U.S. response to
Who you with?
CNN. There's a split,
Fake
though.
news. Fortunately, nobody watches.
But my question
Is anybody?
It should have been in the house. It was loose. What the f do you want? Are you dumb?
Watch your mouth.
I don't need to. Who are you? Who are you? Who the f are you? You ain't gonna do
talk to people like this.
What you think?
You don't need to be talking to people like
Then
this.
who are you? Who are you?
This whole argument is about a dog. He's dropping off some packages. I guess a dog was out. He pepper sprayed the dog.
I just want to know what it is so it doesn't hurt my dog.
Well, your door shouldn't be loose.
What you spray on?
Your door shouldn't be loose. That's all for it. It should have been in the house. It should have been in the house. It should have been in the house. What do y'all not understand about leaving the door just loose on the yard?
It's in the house.
It's behind an invisible fence.
It's outside. That's loose.
You need to check yourself.
I can however the f I want to talk, and you ain't gonna do about.
That is crazy. Yeah, he's getting fired. I don't think so. Oh, he's getting fired.
Oh, he's
Amazon,
getting
you can. That will ruin your reputation. They got to come out with a public announcement and say, yes, this Negro's been fired.
Tem certeza que essa decisão que você tomou, você pensou bem? Porque eu não tô disposto a voltar atrás também. Se for embora, pode ir embora de uma vez, porque se você for, tenho certeza que em pouco tempo já tem outro amor. E eu também vou ter. Pode passar o tempo que passar, mas eu vou te esquecer. Um dia cê vai ver que eu era o cara que queria te fazer feliz. Vai se arrepender de ter ido embora e me deixado aqui. Mas eu não vou querer mais saber de você na minha vida. Pensa bem porque essa passagem é só de ida.
Oh, he threw water.
Tem certeza.
What I
the water balloon at him.
hate is when I have like poor
Sounds
people
good.
Ubers and they come pick me up and then they go, "This a nice area. What is it called? How much is the rent?" I'm like, "Too much for you." I lied. I said it was like $1,500 more than it was. So
Why?
Because I don't want them to move there. Like, this a nice area. I wish I could live in an area like that. He was like, "How much is it?" I was like, three. He was like, $300,000. I was like, "No, fucking $3,000 a month."
Oh,
And he's just like,
I could do that.
"I can afford that. I only have to drive 24 hours a day, 7 day a week, and then I can afford it." What I hate is.
All right, let's see what my brother's sending me. It's pretty good.
What is it called? How much is the rent?
Let's see.
It's a nice area. I wish I could live in an area like that.
Quiet. Quiet. Alright, I'm gonna call it there. You guys have a good day. Hopefully you join me here in the DisAlgorithm, and hopefully we can learn something. I mean, there wasn't much today, but in the future there should be some stuff. So, alright. Come join us. Hit me up in the chat when it premieres, and I'll see you guys there. Bye.
Some truths will be hilarious, others painful, but we must be free. We must break into the DisAlgorithm.